what we'll do is we'll have a feedback session with all of us involved with that. Okay. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So this is a sutta which has been referred by other suttas also. This is a teaching by this name of this teaching has been referred many other times also. That you have to remember this simile of the saw. So that is what the name of this teaching is. So in this teaching, there is a lot which is that it's a long teaching, but I'll give you the heart of the matter of this teaching. So there is one incident over here where somebody has a very good reputation. So that reputation is that this person is calm. She is very famous for being calm. But then later on, what happens is the maid thinks that I'll test this lady, that how calm she is. So once she gets up late, then she is in a bad mood. The lady is in a bad mood. Then she says, I will further test. Then she wakes up later than normal. Then she becomes angry with her. Then she next day what she does is she even wakes up even later, and this lady becomes so angry that she hits the maid with the this what you balan we call the rolling pin. She hits her in the head. Then she says that she this reputation she has is of being very calm, but she in her heart she has that anger which she is hiding. So what this is showing is that you may kind of act calm or act in a way exteriorly. What is happening interior, in how it's happening in the mind. So what is happening is in the mind is we are having a suppression when there is a conversation happening, when we are interacting with people. How that suppression is happening, that is the story which is shown. Now the Buddha is going further and saying that how should our all the interactions be? How when we are interacting, when we are speaking, how are the situations? So the Buddha is giving us 5 positive and 5 negative situations. The Buddha is showing us. Students, there are these 5 courses of speech that others may use. They address you. Their speech may be timely or untimely. So timely speeches, they see the correct time to speak to you. Sometimes we also say that in the morning we say that don't talk to me unless I had my coffee. So what means is that you are not in that mood to have a conversation. Or there is a time where you are with some people, and then that time you don't want to be corrected. That may be a wrong time to correct your mistakes or something like that. So sometimes other people may take care of that situation and have a timely conversation, or they may have an untimely conversation at a time which is inconvenient to you. Gentle or harsh. So when somebody speaks to you, it may be gentle or it may be harsh. Connected with good or with harm. So sometimes somebody speaks with you, maybe for your good they may speak, or they may speak for your harm. Spoken with a mind of loving kindness or with inner hate. So they may speak to you with a loving kindness or a hateful mind. So that is what as others may deal with you. So there can be untimely speech may be there. There can be a true or untrue speech can be there. Sometimes they speak truth to you, sometimes they speak untruth to you. It can be untrue, or it can be harsh, or it can be for your harm, or it can be with the inner hate. Somebody may address you, or may address you with a positive mind also. But how do you react in that situation? When others address you, their speech may be timely or untimely. When others address you, their speech may be true or untrue. When others address you, their speech may be gentle or harsh. When others address you, their speech may be connected with good or with harm. When others address you, their speech may be spoken with a mind of loving kindness or with inner hate. Herein, students, you should train thus. So that is how we train ourselves. That is how our mind will train and how we'll behave. we shall utter no, our minds will remain unaffected, and we shall utter no evil words. So, whatever the person says to us, we will not be kind of affected by that, and we shall utter no evil word. We shall abide compassionate for their welfare with a mind of loving kindness. So, other person may speak to you with any mindset, but you will kind of train in the way, like you will resolve that you will not be affected, and the way you will respond is with loving kindness. You will be compassionate for the other person. The other person, we don't know what kind of mindset the person has, what is he going through. So we will be compassionate for them and have a mind of loving kindness. We shall abide pervading that person with a mind imbued with loving kindness, and starting with him, we shall pervade all encompassing world with a mind similar to a cat skin bag. A cat skin bag isn't given as an example, saying that when there is a cat skin bag, if you want to ruffle it, make a noise out of it, that cannot happen. So it's a very soft leather. So you no voice or something will come. No resistance is there. So that is how we will have our mind abundant, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility and without envy. That is how you should train. So when you have somebody speaking with you, so what we have learned in Brahma Viharas is, first we send a metta to ourselves and the other person, and then to all. Okay, in all directions we send. So in the same way, whenever where there is a conversation happening, so he's not saying only do this when the conversation is going bad, or somebody is having a conversation with you which is for your harm. But he's saying if it is somebody speaking for your good also, somebody having a timely speech also, you should be with a mind of loving kindness. So it is for all speech, all interactions of yours. You should have this mind of loving kindness, and starting with the person who is there before you, you send it to all people. So there is one story which is there, that there is a minister who goes to one of the big monks or ascetics and asks him that, sir, who is the most important person for you in this kingdom? So he says that you are the most important person for me in the whole of kingdom. He's very happy. So then he goes to the king and says that I went to this thing, and he said that I am the most important person in the whole kingdom for that monk. So then the king says, I had want to meet him some time ago, and he said the same thing to me. So then they said, we'll go and we'll confront him. Who is the most important person for him? So they both go and ask that, you once said I was the most important. Now you are saying the most important person is this. So the monk says that anybody who is there before me, he is the most important person for me. So in that sense, you anybody who you are interacting with, you interact with a mind of loving kindness, and starting with him, you have this loving kindness sent to all. So one of the examples Sister Kema used to give is that there was a person in California. She had a social services job. So she used to go certain times and meet people and interact. And this time they had a very hard time, because they had to go and tell people that their social security, whatever the checks they were getting, they are not, they are going to stop it, because there are some budget cuts and they have to stop some. So they had to go explain and have a signature. So that was a very stressful job. So then she had come to Bhante Dhammagavesi in Missouri. They have a center, Dhammasukha meditation center. So they had gone there and had a retreat. And Sister Kema said that, do this, have a mind of loving kindness and compassion for all your interactions. So when she went there to the first house, she went into this, remembered that teaching. She was in loving kindness and was radiating compassion, and went there and spoke to the person. And the person did not become angry, he did not accuse the person, her, or any kind of a fight, had a fight with her. But she said, I understand what the situation is, that you are also an employee, and you are not the one who is taking away my check. So, but I am okay, and I'll figure it out a way to survive this stopping of the this thing uh, checks. So then she signed and she came back. When she came back to office, she was normally very distressed and crying and everything, and her boss was expecting her to be in distress. But when she came, she says, "No, everything went well, and nothing happened because that mind of loving kindness which was there, with which she was kind of interacting, because of this that interaction was good." So I gave you one other example of Bhante Dhammagavesi, when this person goes to office and a fight, kind of an arguing employee comes to him, he just gives him loving kindness and does not kind of fight with him, and just listens to him patiently, and then this person just goes away because he does not get his reactions, and he sees that this feeling of this person is of calmness, not of agitation. Then he leaves and does not confront and keep on that conversation. So in that way, every time when we have that conversation, this is how we have to deal with that. Anyhow the person is speaking, we speak with loving kindness. That's the reason it's a very practical teaching which the Buddha is giving. So he's saying it is an all the time teaching. It is not just the teaching when you are sitting, but when every time any conversation which you are having, this is how this has to be going. Now the Buddha is giving a example. Now Buddha gives certain examples for an extreme to kind of see how his teaching are to be perceived. So Buddha is giving a extreme example to kind of underline this point. Students, even if bandits were to sever you savagely, limb by limb, with a two-handed saw, that is the reason it's called a simile of the saw. So if there are some dacoits, bandits who wanted to cut your arm with a two-handed saw, okay, in the old times, I think everybody was aware. Now everybody has a kind of a chainsaw. The image of a chainsaw, because it would be more appropriate. Say somebody comes with a chainsaw and wants to cut your arms. He who gave rise to a mind of hate towards them would not be carrying out my teaching. So the Buddha says that if a hateful thought comes towards that person who is wanting to harm you, that would not be considered to be a kind of the disciple of the Buddha. Herein, student, you should train thus: our minds will remain unaffected, and we shall utter no evil words. We shall abide compassionate for their welfare, with a mind of loving kindness, without inner hate. We shall abide pervading them with a mind imbued with loving kindness, and starting with them, we shall abide pervading the all encompassing world with a mind imbued with loving kindness, abundant, exalted, immeasurable, without hostility, without ill will. That is how you should train students. So the Buddha says, even if somebody is wanting to harm you, still you should continue your this thing process of loving kindness. This is just an example. That does not mean that you stay there. If you have an opportunity to run, run. But the Buddha is giving an example saying that if you keep that in mind, is there any words other people say will hurt you? So they are at least not harming me. Huh? They are at least not cutting my arms off, you know. So that is how you have to see that if somebody speaks somewhere, but what happens is whatever our kind of thoughts of ill will are there for others, or the things we have took up as hurt, is mostly based on words. He said this to me, he said that to me, okay, he did that to me. That is all in the past which has happened, we are holding on to. Okay, that is what is happening, is all that words which are there we carry. There is a saying in English which is, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That is the most untrue proverb in the world. It has no, because sticks and stones you can be enduring, but sometimes you may have fights as a child and everything, and sticks and stone may be used on that, but you don't remember those times. But the words which are there will hurt you, not now, but will hurt you 10 years from now also. So that is how we behave, because we don't have that mind of I'll remain unaffected. I'll have the loving kindness with all my interactions, which is there. So that's the reason I'm saying that loving kindness is a practical teaching. It is not a theoretical teaching. It is not just a sitting teaching. It is a all the time teaching. So any interaction which you have, any conversation which you have, you should have with a mind of loving kindness. Students, if you keep this advice on the simile of the song constantly in mind, do you see any course of speech, trivial or gross, that you could not endure? No, Venerable Sir. Therefore, students, you should keep this advice of the simile of the song constantly in mind. That will lead to your welfare and happiness for a long time. So, if you keep this example in your mind long enough, it will help you. So, in my personal experience, what had happened is that time I had not started meditation, but I had a lot of issues with office politics, this, that, and my mind was very agitated, and I was having a lot of thoughts of ill will, cruelty, all these things which are happening in my mind. And then I came across this Buddha's teaching, and when I came across this Buddha's teaching, what I did was I took a printout of it, this part which was there, the last part, and I had kept. There was my computer station was there. Above that, there was a place where I put it, and I used to constantly read that, and it helped me kind of calm down, and it helped me kind of get over that thing. So I would say I would kind of think that okay, they must have bike bited me or cheated me out of my promotion or whatever, but they have not cut my arms off, or hurt me physically. So that's how I used to balance my mind at that time, because I had no meditation or anything, but I was able to see that there is the Buddha's teaching, which is the Buddha is saying that you, if even if somebody hurts you physically, you should not have a mind of kind of hate towards that person. Okay, you should still love that person and have welfare for them, have compassion for them, to have that welfare in your mind for that person still. So that is a very kind of a strong teaching the Buddha is giving. So now there is one other teaching the Buddha is giving to his, yes. Mhm. Yeah, but that is why 6 hours comes up. So when you're, what that is what I said, that you should not be defined by whatever comes up in your mind, but what you do at that time. So the Buddha is also saying that don't be defined by your inner voice. Let that go, and keep your attention on loving kindness. To keep your, huh? That may still be there, because you are not the owner of it. Because if they come, still that you don't want them to come, but they come, then you are, it is an impersonal process. You see the that this is not me, this is not mine. Okay. So one of the things I was having a conversation with Karuna Panyo, so he said that that is a good reminder we have to give, that whenever your mind is getting stuck with certain things, then at the time of when you recognize, when you release, at that time you can remind yourself that this is not me, this is not my, this is not myself. You see that you are not defined by whatever has come up in your mind, and you can let that go, relax, smile, and redirect your mind to loving kindness. You can redirect your mind to compassion. You can redirect your mind to joy. You can redirect your mind to equanimity. So those states of mind will come as an assistance to you when you are having that experience. So I'll read something from the teaching the Buddha gave to Rāhula, his son, before he was ordained. So there are a few kind of things which are he tells as advice, which is very useful for us. So one of the things is Rāhula developed meditation like that is like earth. For when you develop meditation that is like earth, a reason agreeable and disagreeable context will not invade your mind and remain. So the Buddha is asking you to kind of think of the earth. Okay, that when you are doing your practice, or when you are being in life also, you can say that you can be like earth. Just as people throw clean things and dirty things, excrement, urine, spittle, pus, blood on the earth, and the blood is not repelled, humiliated, or disgusted because of that. So to Rahula, develop mind meditation that is like earth. For when you develop meditation that is like earth, a reason agreeable and disagreeable context will not invade your mind and remain. So what is happening is your mind has all these things coming up, as you mentioned, that those things are coming up. Now what is happening is we are reacting to it. So when you always remember that you can be like earth, earth, everything is thrown. The earth does not react; it accept everything. In the same way, water is also the same way. Okay, you throw anything in the water accepts it. It does not repel. So we can. There is one teaching by Bruce Lee. Be like water. So that is also one of the teaching of the Buddha. Like being like water is have the quality of water for accepting everything, not repelling anything. So whatever is mind is coming, the thoughts are coming, they are not repelling, and you're not reacting to that thing. So that's the reason. What is happening is agreeable and disagreeable context will not invade your mind and remain, because you are not reacting to it. So you recognize it and you release it. Relax, smile, and come back. Okay, you constantly things will come, but those things are not they are yours when you take ownership of it. Like the cup and the chocolate example I had given, you take ownership of it, and then you are not ready to change it, even though maybe you would have liked to have a chocolate, or you would have liked to own a mug, but you will not exchange it because you have taken ownership of those things. In the same thing, you take ownership of your anger, you take ownership of your hate, you take ownership of your cruelty, and then you act upon it, because you don't let it be. So the Buddha is saying, let everything be like the earth we are putting. The same way, Rahula, develop a meditation that is like water. For when you develop a meditation that is like water, a reason, agreeable and disagreeable context will not invade your mind and remain. Just as people wash clean things and dirty things, excrement, urine, spittle, pus, and blood in water, the water is not repelled, humiliated, disgusted because of that. So too, Rahula, develop meditation that is like water. For when you develop meditation that is like water, a reason, agreeable and disagreeable context will not invade your mind and remain. So in the same way, you can develop your meditation like fire also, because you can throw anything in the fire and that will not repel it. You can throw anything in the air also and it will not repel it. So that is how you have to develop your mind based on the four elements. Certain times it may help you to have the mind which is connected to earth. Sometimes it may help you to take the example of water, and certain times it may help you to take the example of fire, that as I kind of put it in fire, it does not repel everything, it will burn. Fire, if it is a high enough temperature, it will burn steel also. So if you put in fire, that way all the things which are coming, maybe you imagine there is a fire, all that negative thoughts come, you just put it in the fire. And one of the things I told about Sister Kima said that there is a green box which is there, which is the ideas which come, which are good, then you can keep it in the green box. And then ideas which you don't like, you can keep in the red box. And say, I don't have to act on it. I don't have to take ownership of it. And when you are not taking ownership of it, then you can behave in a different manner. So now the this thing I have given a few times, so I'll read it once again. Rahula, develop meditation on loving kindness. For when you develop meditation on loving kindness, any ill will be abandoned. So when you develop your meditation on loving kindness, if you have ill will in your mind, that cannot remain. So there are two states of mind cannot remain. You cannot be happy and sad at the same time. Okay, if sadness is there and you siksar it and come to happiness, then the sadness will go away. So in the same way, if there is ill will in the mind, you direct your mind to loving kindness. Rahula, develop meditation on compassion. For when you develop meditation on compassion, any cruelty will be abandoned. Rahula, develop meditation on altruistic joy. For when you develop meditation on altruistic joy, any discontent will be abandoned. Discontent or jealousy also. If you are jealous that there this people are have this or that thing, to say that maybe in the past life maybe I had that thing. Okay, and the Buddha says that you have been everywhere and you have done everything. So in one of the past life, you were as famous as maybe Shah Rukh Khan, okay, and as rich as Elon Musk, okay. So if you see them, you say that I was as rich as Elon Musk, and that way you can be happy for him, or you can be happy for Shah Rukh Khan or whatever, you know. And one other way is to see somebody in misery. You say at that point I was also maybe at as that. If you see a person who is poor and on the street, say that once I was there also that way. Or you see the pictures of Ukraine war, there are people in kind of ditches and bombs are falling. You were also there in that situation. You were also there in that miserable situation. Then compassion naturally arises in our mind. So you balance your mind in that sense. Rahula, develop meditation on equanimity. For when you develop meditation on equanimity, any aversion will be abandoned. So when there is aversion in your mind, you can develop your meditation on equanimity. So one other thing which is the Buddha is saying, this is a kind of a teaching which requires a teacher. My teacher used to say that this teaching is about Asubha. Asubha teaching some many people may know over here. But Rahula, develop meditation on foulness. For when you develop meditation on foulness, any lust will be abandoned. So if you like certain things, you know, like you like to eat a lot of say sugar or something like that, you can think about the harmful effects of it, or how it can harm you, or how it has harmed others. By thinking the negative things, your kind of attraction to those things can be abandoned. So it can be for anything of visual, of listening, smelling, tasting. I was talking about tactile things. Some people can go into very deep into that field. Some people are into thinking, ideas and thinking, and they are not at all practical. So anything which takes over your mind, any senses which you take over your mind. Lust is not just about the opposite kind of gender or something like that. It is also about any obsession which you have for any senses. And when you have that understanding that there to balance it, you can use the opposite of it. Okay, and that can balance your mind in that sense. So this is the all the kind of teaching which the Buddha is giving. So one other thing the Buddha is saying, Rahula, develop meditation on the perception of impermanence. For when you develop a meditation on the perception of impermanence, the conceit I am will be abandoned. So the impermanence, as I told, is also linked to the dukkha, is also linked to the impersonality or anatta, not self or non-self. That teaching also it is linked. So when we see everything as impermanent, then we don't take anything very seriously, or we are not distressed by what is happening in the current thing. If your mind is giving us this constantly some kind of thoughts or anything, we have to kind of say it is impermanent. It will stop sometime. If you see there are certain habits which is taking a long time, but at one time of time it will change, and that is there. Then what happens is you will slowly stop taking ownership of it. One other way the Buddha is teaching the thing about impermanence is through the knowing of these five things, the arising of it, and the cessation, the gratification, the danger, and escape. So now, what is the arising and passing away? That is the impermanence you see, and also you see the impersonality in that arising and passing away. What is the gratification? Gratification is whatever you take pleasure in. Okay, you have that ice cream which is there. There was no ice cream, but now there is ice cream. So you can enjoy the ice cream. That is the gratification. So we have a lot of gratification we take. We take gratification in many things. In the things which are there, the scenery is there, the temperature is there, uh, the clothes which we have, the colors, many things we take gratification in. But what is the danger of that? That the danger is that it is impermanent. Okay, so everything is impermanent. So the whatever you are taking gratification in, like Bhante Karuna Panyo, Bhante KP, now there is famous as Bhante KP. Bhante KP said that you should remember the recollections, that whatever is dear to me, which I like, will become otherwise, will become separated from me. So that is the danger of it, that impermanence is there. And what is the escape? This is the eightfold path. Okay, the 6 R's. So if you have a thought of ice cream, you add 6 R's it, then you have no dukkha. Okay. Okay, okay, ask it. Yes, you can still enjoy it. One of the thing is you have to be in balance with it. So when you are enjoying the ice cream or something like that, you know that the reality of it. Okay, so you don't get uh, kind of attached to those things. When you know the reality, then you can be in balance with it. Okay. Okay. So, so the Buddha is also talking about when I read about the loving kindness, the Buddha is also talking about the breathing meditation. Rahula developed meditation on mindfulness of breathing. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it is of great fruit and great benefit. And how is mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated so that it is of great fruit and benefit? Then he goes into the different ways of kind of going and practicing. So that is how there are many, many different ways we can look at the things which are coming in our mind and how we can redirect it. The ability to redirect our mind from ill will to metta, okay, from cruelty to compassion, from dissatisfaction to joy, from aversion to equanimity. All those things can be useful in our life. All are based on what? Our ability to siksar, ability to let go of whatever has come and redirect mind where we want. So that is yes. This is Rāhulovāda Sutta. This is 62, MN 62. The first sutta which I read was MN 21. This is, I think, Mahārāhulovāda Sutta. So that is how this teaching and encouragement is there. One other encouraging sutta is, I'll read, which is from Anguttara Nikaya. I told about, we read one from Samyutta, I think couple of them from Samyutta Nikaya. We have read from Majjhima Nikaya. Now this is one from Anguttara Nikaya. So now this sutta is something which he suggested to use on the first day. So that is something I will do next retreat. So it's a sutta which is of encouragement. Okay. So the Buddha is talking about, this is book of 11, sutta number 2. AN, Anguttara Nikaya, AN 11.2. So the Buddha is saying, students, for a virtuous person, one whose behavior is virtuous, no volition need be exerted. Let non-regret arise in me. So when you are keeping the precepts, so you don't have to have a kind of willingness that non-regret should arise in me. Non-regret is automatically arising in a person who is keeping the precepts. It is natural that non-regret arises in one who is virtuous. one whose behavior is virtuous. For one without regret, no volition need be exerted. Let joy arise in me. It is not natural that joy arises in one without regret. So once you have non-regret in your, so you are not regretting your actions, you are not feeling guilty for your actions, then joy automatically arises in your mind. For one who is joyful, no volition need be exerted. Let rapture arise in me. It is natural that rapture arises in one who is joyful. So this is rapture is also one of the higher kind of like sukha, or what you can, this can be said as happiness is there, which is arising in your mind. So that automatically arises when joy is there, that happiness arises. For one with a rapturous mind, no volition need be exerted. Let my body become tranquil. It is natural that the body of one with a rapturous mind is tranquil. So there is joy is there, there is happiness is there, then the body becomes automatically tranquil. So that is a natural thing which is happening in our practice also. So we did not tell you all these things will happen, but those things are experienced by many. Okay, that all we become comfortable. There was some times we were feeling happy. All these things was happening automatically. We were not told that these things will happen, but they happen naturally. For one tranquil in body, no volition need be exerted. Let me feel pleasure. It is natural that one tranquil in body feels pleasure. So if your body is tranquil, your mind is happy and with joy, you will have pleasurable experience. For one feeling pleasure, no volition need be exerted. Let my mind be collected or concentrated. So if your mind is having joy, happiness, and your body is tranquil, you are feeling the pleasure, then will your mind go here and there? No, no. So it will stay at one place. So whatever object you select, you can stay with that object. Your mind will go here and there when you have restlessness, you have sloth and torpor. But if your mind is tranquil, your mind has joy and happiness, and body is tranquil, you are feeling pleasure, then you can get concentrated or collected, or your mind can stay at anything which you want, it can stay there. It is natural that the mind of one feeling pleasure is concentrated. For one who is concentrated or collected in mind, no volition need be exerted. Let me know and see things as they really are. It is natural that one who is concentrated knows and sees things as they really are. Yatha bhuta jnana darshana, that is the Pali word. So that is to know and see things as they are. So when you are in meditation, your body is kind of tranquil. Your mind, you are feeling pleasure, and your mind is there and observing. Then you know what are the reality. You see that not having been, some things comes to be. Having been, they vanish. You see that known they arose, known they stayed, and known they went away. So you are able to see whatever is there as it is. You are able to observe. And I had told you that a lot of science is about observation. So one of the things which was interesting to me was that when water is boiling at sea level and you take the temperature, it is 100 degrees. So I thought that water boils at 100 degrees. That is what we learned in school. In the science, we said water boils at 100 degrees. Then I found out that all the survey of India, wherever the Indian survey was done by the British officers, the height of the mountains were measured by boiling water. So I said, how can that be? So because at the sea level, water boils at 100 degrees, but at a certain height above, it will boil at another temperature. At certain height, it will boil at another temperature. And that measurements they had done, they kind of rechecked it with the satellite image, satellites and equipment, which are modern equipment. They were off by only few meters or feet, those measurements. So now, without observing this water boiling or that information we'll never know. So lot of the our information which we gain is through observation. So when we have this mind which is concentrated, we know as things they are. Yatha do bhuta jnana darshana is automatically happening. Then you are able to see what is happening in the this thing. For one who knows and sees things as they really are, no volition need be exerted. Let me be disenchanted. It is natural that one knows and sees things as they really are, is disenchanted. So if you see the reality, as I was kind of again saying, that if you see the reality of the impersonality of the thoughts, the emotions, the aversions which comes, then you will not be able to take ownership of it. Okay. So now what is happening is disenchanted. There is a movie called Enchanted. Huh? Anybody heard about this movie, Enchanted, Disney movie? Yeah. So that Enchanted movie, what happens? The person, I have not seen the movie, but I know the basic premise of it, is that they put in a spell and that person becomes enchanted. Okay. And when you are disenchanted, what is that? It is as if the spell has been broken. Okay. You were happily drinking poison thinking it is medicine. But if there is a somebody comes and says what you are drinking is poison, and see this people have died because of that. Will you continue drinking that poison? No. Your kind of whatever was the attraction which was there will be broken. So that is disenchanted. One way I kind of always relate to food, so just trigger warning for you. So one way I kind of explain it is that, say if you go to a buffet, okay, and you had a favorite things which was there, say cocktail shrimp was there in the buffet. So first thing which you do is go and attack the cocktail shrimp before it is getting over, and you go there and get that. That is because you are kind of have attraction to it. You have some craving for it, and you go there. Then what happens is next time you go and you are disenchanted. So you say, okay, if it is there, I will go. If it is get over, it's okay for me. So that time you are not so much uh, attracted to it. Say this, it's okay if I don't get it also. That is the time which you are disenchanted with the thing. You are not that much in love with that thing which is there. One who is disenchanted, no volition need be exerted. Let me become dispassionate. So now when a person is disenchanted, slowly, what will happen? He will give up the passion for it. He'll give up the attraction for it. It is natural that one who is disenchanted becomes dispassionate. So what happens in the same buffet example? If I go to that buffet, the cocktail shrimp does not look something different than say maybe dal and chawal, okay? Rice and lentils are there. That does not, because we have dispassionate. Everything is like a food. Like we explained about the anagami, the non-returner. When the non-returner has something as food, he is having it for the energy. He is not having it for the pleasure of the having the food. So everything seems to be energy. So everything seems like the same. This can be also I can have. It's okay. I get this. That's also okay. And he is not kind of getting involved into the story of that food or anything like that. So he becomes dispassionate. For one who is dispassionate, no volition need be exerted. Let me realize the knowledge and vision of liberation. So knowledge and vision is what you see and what you know. By knowing and seeing, you are liberated of all that attachment to your thoughts, attachment to your feelings, attachment to your concepts, attachment to your uh, also the concept of ego which is there. All that attachments will kind of go, and that is the knowledge of liberation. It is natural that one who is dispassionate realizes the knowledge and vision of liberation. So that is what our practice is about. All that thing which we take personally and then create problems for us, then we don't create any problems for us. So as you practice, it will automatically, in progression, in stages, your understanding will grow, and as your understanding grows, you will keep on giving up. So now you take all the thoughts as very personal, and as at one point of time you will say, okay, I can give them up. And as the energy of what comes up has not been given additional energy, you are fixating your all aversions and all the delusions and all the uh, kind of attractions, all of them, when you are giving them energy, those things will keep on dropping. And as you kind of progress, you will see that some things in your life has changed. Some of the uh, uh, times you are getting so angry, you are not getting that angry. You may have the anger arise and you can say, okay, I am able to let go. And that is how your actions will change. So that is the teaching of the Buddha, where the Buddha is saying that you continue your practice, you continue this thing, and everything which is there will happen automatically. I told you about the Eightfold Path also. That if you have the right view, right thought arises, or right intention, because based on that, right speech is arising. Based on that, right action is there. Right, based on that, right livelihood is there. Based on that, right practice. Based on that, right mindfulness arises, and right collectedness or samadhi or jhanas arise. Automatically, this is arising. I told the same thing about the 7 factors of awakening. If you have mindfulness, investigation happens automatically. If investigation happens, balance of energy happens automatically. If balance of energy is there, your mind is joyful. When there is joy, you're going to tranquility. Over here also we saw that happens automatically. When you are in tranquility, you go into samadhi, collectedness of mind. When there is samadhi, there is equanimity coming up. So the Buddha is saying that if you keep on practicing, the rest of the things will happen automatically. If you keep on letting go, keep on doing the 6 R's, all the rest of the things will happen automatically. But the main factor is to continuously practice. So one of the things is that we will have some groups which are there. One of the is a WhatsApp group which is there. So there are 1 or 2 people who have not joined. You have not joined? Okay. There was 1 or 2. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So please kind of join that group, and that group can be one group for our retreat. Now there is a bigger group which is there of other retreats and everything, which is another WhatsApp group is there, and there are some language groups also that I have put a poster over there with those things. There are we have whatever our talks are there, we will eventually upload it in the YouTube. That is something which we'll do. And then there will be also regular talks we have. So we have read a very few suttas or the teaching of the Buddha, but we read at least 2 teachings of the Buddha every week. One is there on Sunday, or 3 o'clock we have a group sitting, so everybody can join through Zoom and sit with other practitioners for a half an hour of meditation. So if you want, you can just have that practice. So regular, you can be in touch with them. Then there is a reading of the suttas. There can be question answers also. So if you have any issues with the practice or something like that, or you want to know something additional of the practice, that can be you can ask questions. You can ask questions on the WhatsApp group also. Okay. And you can also ask questions. There is a Google group which we have. That Google group also you can join, and that you can kind of ask questions, and we will share the details of our activities which you are doing. And then there is online retreat. So anytime you want to refresh your knowledge, there are online guides which are there. So every day they will take your feedback also, and then they will give you some feedback. So they can ask the questions I was asking on this thing. They play a form which is to be filled. Those questions are already there, and then you can do that. This is not a very high requirement. You can just sit for half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening, and there is some teaching, recorded teaching of my teacher Bhante Dhammagavesi. That you can listen to those teachings, and that can be done online. And we are planning for having a forgiveness retreat also. So some of those things which are there, So anybody would be interested in an online forgiveness retreat? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 12. So, yes, that is good.
What about an in-person forgiveness retreat?
In-person forgiveness retreat we'll have to plan. Maybe we can do that also. But now I am kind of getting ready for some kind of a forgiveness retreat. I had asked somebody to help me out, but then he was in kind of some difficult situation, so he has not been able to kind of come up with that. But then there are some other our guides who are ready to do it. So maybe within a month we will have that forgiveness retreat within a month. Yes. See, one of those forgiveness retreat which is there is a part of the way of looking at the compassion or the metta teaching. Like when we have read the MN21, we are seeing that whatever the other person does, you should have compassion for them and send them loving kindness. One is that. Second is the Buddha's teaching was there for the monks. So whenever the monks would leave a place, they would ask forgiveness to the senior monk, that whatever I was done from speech, body, speech, and mind, I seek forgiveness. And the senior monk would say that I also seek forgiveness as I forgive you, and I seek forgiveness as you seek forgiveness from me. And that is a act of forgiveness which was done by the monks. So Bhante kind of had done some other practices also of forgiveness, and then he combined those things and made this practice. And this practice, Bhante said that he is by far the most powerful practice, he says, he has come across. So, and for me also, I have seen many people have many kind of wonderful experiences. There was one person who had a fight with his friend, and he could not forgive him. And he said, I am not talking to, I was my childhood friend, but I have not been able to kind of forgive him. And for the last 6 months or so, I have not been talking to. So for a long time, he has not been in communication with them. So then he is not able to do the metta practice also. Then I said, okay, what you do is do the forgiveness practice. Then he was doing the forgiveness practice. Then he realized he got a memory of him being in the fifth standard, and her teacher telling him something off the cuff. When the teacher had told him off the cuff, he felt very bad, and he had no memory of that. And that is the same thing his friend had said in an argument 6 months back or something. And because of that, he became very angry, and he did not know why he became very angry and why he is not able to get back to his friend and talk to him. When he was able to forgive his teacher, he was able to forgive his friend. And when he forgave his friend, then he was able to kind of, as soon as the retreat got over, phones were returned, he went and spoke to his friend. And he came back to me and said that I have spoken to my friend and we have patched up. And now I'm very happy that this kind of, I was able to kind of get over this thing. And then there was one lady who had come who had a bad marriage for 50 years. So she was from a middle class family, and she was married in a very rich family. Because of that, as you know, there in Indian society there is a classism which is very kind of strong. So she had to kind of endure that thing for 50 years. She was in her 70s, and when she started doing forgiveness, she was not kind of ready to do it, but then she persisted with it. In 7 days she was able to give up, and her face was like different. She was smiling, and she was like you could say that 10 years of her kind of was lifted off her face, and she was like very much and then when she went into the teaching of the, she started doing loving kindness. She kind of went into arupa jhanas like in a day. She could naturally, she just kind of went to all the she had all the experiences in a day or two. She had all the experiences. She was really very happy that this with this practice. And then there is one with my teacher Bhante Dhammagavesi. where we are in, I think, Shah Alam. I remember in Malaysia there is a Shah Alam. There is a Bodhi Park, I think so, Bodhi Park. So that the Bodhi Park was a center. So where we had a retreat, and there was this lady who had come, and she also had that similar kind of thing, where her marriage was not good, because her in-laws thought she was ugly, and she was not very beautiful, and that because of which, and they were kind of very harsh with her. So she had this feeling for that I am wrong somehow. So she had the guilt feeling also. And if you can, when I met her in the initial kind of interviews and everything, she was very much kind of, you could see that pain and anguish in her face. Bhante, when in the first interview itself, gave her the forgiveness practice. She was doing the forgiveness practice for the whole of the retreat. But at the end of the retreat, at the end of the last day, she was able to give up all that kind of holding on to all that aversion she had for her in-laws, her husband, and her situation. And she was, when I last met her, the last day, she was like 10 years, not even 10 years, she was like 25 years younger than. She was like a different person. You can, if you get had taken a photo before the retreat and after the retreat, you could not say this is the same person. That is the kind of change, transformation had happened. And then because my teacher did not carry mobiles, so I was the contact person, you know. So then she, after I remember, we had come to India at that time. After we had come and we were there in India, she sent me a photograph of them going, from their family going to a picnic. He said, in the first time in my marriage, we have gone as a family for a picnic. The children were there and his husband and everything. They had gone for a picnic. This is the first time I have gone into picnic. And my relationship with my in-laws have changed drastically. When she went there, they treated her in a different manner. They were not a part of the practice. But when she went, she was treated very differently. And her relationship with her husband, everything has changed. Just imagine to be in a marriage for 20-25 years and never going out for an outing. And after she did the forgiveness meditation, their family went out. And she was so happy that there was a transformation which had happened. And there are some stories by Bhante also, but these are all first-hand experiences I have had with forgiveness meditation. So yes.
May I gauge interest to see what people will be interested in terms of longer retreats, etc.? Please raise your hand if you'd be interested in a Does it work? Does it work? Oh, it's working. Okay. Please raise your hand if you'd be interested in a 14-day retreat.
Oh, 14 days.
Yeah, sure. We'll just say interested. Cool. Okay. Keep your hand raised if you'd be interested in a 20-day retreat. Okay, most. Okay. 30 days? We still got a good number. Okay, great. Thank you.
We are, by the way, planning for a 14-day retreat in Bodh Gaya, maybe December and or February.
I have, who would be interested in a pilgrimage to the 4 holy sites of India? Got 1, 2. Sorry. Who would be interested in going to the 4 holy sites
Of the Buddha.
The Buddha. So where the Buddha was born, where he was enlightened, where he gave his first teaching, and where he died. Yeah, good number. Yeah, yeah. Like, so lots of groups come from like Thailand or Vietnam or something, and they rent a bus, and then everyone goes together and they go to one site, and you know there could be Dhamma talks, meditation, things like this. You go to the next site, you get to hear stories of the Buddha, you get to practice the community together, you get to have fun bus rides. Yeah, okay, interesting. Thank you.
So one of the things about this is that the Buddha had said that if you want to develop your faith, your shraddha, your confidence, then you visit those places. I was born, where I had given the first teaching, where I got enlightened, and where I had passed away. There are those four places which are there. One is technically in Nepal, where he was born. Lumpini. Any other?
The last one was about if anybody wants to do a teacher, learning how to be a teacher.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, who would be interested in learning to be a guide for this kind of meditation, to have like a guiding, a retreat where you learn how to do that? Yeah.
How to become a teacher?
How to become a teacher?
Oh, that's
Good
good.
number.
Good number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll just take and I'm thankful for the questions. Maybe they ran out of paper. There were many questions. Huh?
How does it work like online?
Online.
Yes.
See, online, what they you do is you sign up from a form, then they add you to a WhatsApp group for information and all these things. Then they will have a Zoom meeting for the initial day, first day, day one. Then the instructions are given, and how this will function. Then every day after you have done your meditation, you fill up a form. The questions I was asking in the interview, they are already there on the form. So you just mention that my longest sitting was this. I did a walking meditation. I kind of was with the object of meditation for 10 minutes or whatever. And then you send the form. The guide will receive the form. They will see your thing, and then they may give you advice. I think you are not doing walking meditation enough. If you are sitting for 2 hours, then maybe walk for half an hour or something. Some advice will be given back to you. Or you have a question which is there that I feel that I have done kind of something, and I need a clarification on that. So then they can clarify to you. So then there is an interactive way. So sometimes this interaction can help you every day. Every day there will be an interaction with the guide. Yes. Self retreat you can do it on your own. So you don't need us no for that. But over here there is a guide who is helping you. Yeah, normal home setting. Only thing you have to see. This is not a high demand retreat. You can do half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening, and do walking sometime maybe in the lunch time. Okay, that is enough. And then you have to listen to a teaching by my teacher Bhante Dhammagavesi. That teaching you have to listen. You can listen while commuting or something like that. You can listen to that teaching. Those most of the suttas which I have taken, that would be the suttas. Yes. No, silence is not required. Five precepts. There are no additional precepts which are there. So you can do it and at your pace. So if you say I can sit for 1 hour, then you can sit for 1 hour. Or if you say I cannot sit in the morning, I'll sit in the afternoon and evening. That's also okay. So it's a very kind of flexible thing. You can manage it with whatever is there. Sometimes there are people who are night shift, then they sit in the morning and the afternoon before they go to the office. So it can be very flexible. Okay. Yes. In sometimes I give. So in this retreat also I had given permission to one person. I don't know if she joined or not. They joined or not. So sometimes I give permission. So I've given permission to one of the people in Buddhapada also, where they have to do some work. So then we give, and, especially if they are old students, then we are more flexible. Those things. Based on case to case basis, we are flexible. Sometimes they leave early or something like that. So we are not kind of, we are more flexible in that sense. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah. So one of the things is about having a schedule for your practice. Okay, so one is that if you are having the practice every morning, that is the best thing, because evening we don't control. Sometimes I'll sit in the evening, but somebody comes in our house, or there is a marriage, or there is a movie, or something like that, and we cannot control the evening time. So morning time is something which we are to use. Bhante used to say that even if you had to cut half an hour of your sleep and do half an hour meditation, that would also work. So one interesting part is that recently I got this ring. Somebody had given me this also, what is called the continuous glucose monitor. So that I got this ring also. So now when I was in morning meditation, the first day I sat in morning meditation like I normally do. So I sat in meditation, and when I was looking at the app said, "Were you having a nap?" Exactly the time I had for maybe I had 45-minute meditation in the morning. That time it gave. Did you have a nap at that time? So at that time, the mind can go so calm that it could be read as this thing. So every day I sit in meditation. That times I have to say no. I have not had an app over that time. I was in meditation. So every day I have to say no to that. So that means that if you are in meditation, you are also fulfilling your sleep. So sometimes if you even have to kind of sleep half an hour less and do meditation, it will not be a problem, but do the meditation in the morning. One example is of a person who used to get up 1 hour early, okay, and get ready 1 hour early. So you'd have his brushing of teeth, having of breakfast, wearing his normal clothes. He'd wear the shoes and socks, and then sit. So if he had to leave from house at 8 a.m., he would get ready at 7 a.m. with everything which his bag ready and everything. He would sit for meditation for 1 hour. Then when he had an alarm 8 a.m. It rings. Then he would open his eye, and with his calm mind, with meditative mind, he would directly go. So then he could keep his mind calm when commuting. So when he's commuting, he can calmly kind of send metta to all directions and do the commute. So he's not agitated. When he's going to his office, he has already had some 2 hours of practice. And then in office, it helps him kind of be calm and do the practice. Yes. In the morning, you said I could not follow you. Okay. Correct. Yeah. Minimum, I said, hour is better. 30 minutes is minimum. What my teacher used to say is 30 minutes minimum.
For you, an hour.
For-
Good.
yes.
You have like a guided meditations in YouTube or
I would not recommend guided meditations when you are at home because see, there is a lot which is happening. When you are going into guided meditation, you will get into a concentrated space, but you are not giving space to your hindrances to arise. So what I have told again and again is hindrances are not your enemies; they are your friends because they reveal to you your attachments, and that is the practice which is there, that you are able to have a new relationship with your hindrances, not keep your old relationship with your hindrances. That is the reason guided meditation as a regular thing. It is a learning space. That's the reason guided meditation is helpful. Okay, and that learning space is then the space is for practice. So practice is to have it as a regular practice. Then the hindrances which arise are actually teaching you where are the hindrances is there. Are you getting frustrated with the thoughts of the past or the future? Then you know that where your attachments are there in the past or the future. Is it in the present, all your hindrances? Then you can see where your attachments are there, and then you are able to let them go. So that's how you develop your mind. Is have a new relationship with all your hindrances. Have a new understanding of them and not taking them personally and then letting them go. That's how you develop your mind. So having that experience of half an hour is not the point of the meditation. The point of the meditation is to be robust in your life. One of the ways going forward is to have some practice in your daily life. Like you can have just smiling as your practice in the daily life. Anytime you recognize you are not smiling, then you relax and smile again and let go of whatever is happening and then smile again. There can be just a small Buddha smile, not even somebody may not even know. So, but they used to say that you have to smile with your mind, smile with your eyes, smile with your lips, and smile with your heart. You can just smile with your mind, be smiling in the mind. And whenever you notice you're not, then you relax and come back to that. If that practice is also there and you come back home and sit in the evening, you'll see that how your practice is there has changed a lot.
Yeah? Yes. So aside from what Bhante is saying about having a daily practice, incorporated with that is, I find for myself, what is really, really helpful is having reminders of why I'm practicing, right? So it can be very easy to get caught up in other things. So to continuously have reminders throughout your life, phrases, coming back to, the books like Path to Nibbana or Forgiveness, even if you're just reading a line or a paragraph every hour, something like that, even if you're just putting a post-it note on your bathroom mirror or on your computer, these things are really there to help remind you of what's important in your life, right? As soon as you go out there, everything's going to attack you. And it's going to say, this is important. You got to think about this. You got to do this. You have to do this. You have to take care of your mind. You have to make sure you put in the effort to care for your mind. Because no one else is going to do that for you.
There are many reminder apps also which you can use. You can just have a reminder app for 2 hours, and then at every 2 hours they say that have you smiled or something like that, and then you can remind yourself to be smiling, or you can go forward with loving kindness also. Like if you are working somewhere or you are working on a computer, right? Like most of us are working on computers. So when you are working on computer, you can work with loving kindness also. You can just send the loving kindness to that computer and have your mind. Certain times you are writing an email or something like that, and your mind goes here or there. You recognize, you release, relax, smile, and come back to this. You can be more effective also at whatever you do. Huh? Your mind is calm and tranquil, and you will be a better worker also. So that is how you develop, huh?
I was just thinking maybe you have to smile to unlock your phone.
Yeah, smile to unlock your phone. That's good. One of the examples, which is an extreme example, which Bhante used to give is there was a bureaucrat in Russia. So he used to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, sit for 3 hours, and then at 8 o'clock you get ready and go to his office. When he used to come back from the office at 7 or something like that, he would rest and then they would have a family dinner. So that he has a rule that all of his family has to be there at the dinner time at 8 or something like that. The dinner time was, so all of his family was there at the dinner, so he would take care of all the family affairs at that time. So what about the school, college, what about groceries, bills, everything, all the discussion happens at that time. Then what he used to do is he used to retire early to the bed. He used to go at 9 o'clock, open a book, read a book. At 10, he would make a determination and then sleep and get back again at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he used to sit 3 hours. So, any time you have an idea or have a way of scheduling, it can be scheduled and you can maintain it if you are disciplined enough. Okay, maybe he was a bureaucrat, so he may have much more flexibility than a corporate job or something like that. But wherever you get the time, wherever you can manage time and the situation which you are there. So there was one student who was a housewife, and she could sit 4 hours, 5 hours also in a day. And there was one, and this, I think she was in Russia itself, Russia or maybe Kazakhstan. I'm not remembering correctly. She might be in Kazakhstan or Russia somewhere. She used to do 4 to 5 hours meditation every day. At one time, she said that there was no thoughts which would come to her, no thoughts for many long time, only related to whatever has to be done. So she would have no thoughts in her mind, almost like an arahant. There is no thoughts which are coming up. She has a time to cook, then she would have the thought, I have to cook, and then she could cook her meals without thinking about anything. So she developed in that manner because she could give that time to this practice. And then many of the students which are there in Indonesia, they are very well organized, and they kind of meet regularly. There's a big group which is there. So there are many accomplished meditators who have even had experiences and have even developed psychic abilities over there. So because they are very diligent, and they are, as a group, they kind of meet regularly. They have their whole system like we have over here. There also there is a lot of guides are there. There is online retreats are there, 1 day retreats are there. They have also big retreats. They actually hire an island resort and have 100 people go there, and there will be 3 or 4 guides. So they will have exclusive, like they would have 25 people going to guide A, 25 people going to guide B, and they would have that retreats also. So there is how you can organize, how you can kind of do it is up to you, and how much you want to kind of take part. One of the things is to volunteer to help us. Like Riti has volunteered for us and done a lot, and there are other also. Geeta has done in retreats. She says, okay, whatever is there, let me. And there are many other volunteers, and like Bhante KP also has given his time. We had come to do the retreat, but because you did not come, then he said, okay, I will be part and I will help. So he has given up his time for practice and being a part of that. That is a kind of a contribution to the practice and the effort we are doing. So you can just contact me for that also, if any of us have talents or some thing you can contribute, then just contribute. That is also a way of being in touch with the practice. The people who are guides are there, they are automatically in touch with their practice. Okay, 12 months a year, they are in touch with their practice, because they have to they teach, and then the best way. There was a book which was there when I was very young. The 7 habits of highly successful people or something like that, effective people. So the one of the things is about teach. If you want to learn, teach. So they are able to kind of learn also, and I also learn a lot from teaching. I have got from all your experience and everything. It always enhances my understanding. It gives me a finer edge, as you kind of polish. You can become more and more sharper. So that's how I feel that every time I come in the retreat, also I learn something. I learned something. There was a new concept I learned this retreat, and maybe we'll maybe implement it and see how that goes. We'll try that in tomorrow morning. That we said we'll have small groups, which is there. So if somebody feels strongly not to participate, they are excused. They can do their own meditation in their room or something like that. But I would encourage everybody else to kind of join in and be a part of that circle also. So now I just take this question. Yeah. Huh?
Other countries you have groups like
Europe, UK, there is a group which is there. There's a group of people. UK, there just this week or around this week, there will be a center also open. So there is one nun which is there, Sister Robasa. She is opening a center. So it's a small center, but it will be like to go and practice over there. Maybe there may be small retreats which will be happening. They hire retreat centers and have annual retreats also. So there is a UK group in America. Dhammasukha Meditation Center is there. So Dhammasukha Meditation Center is a big center. It's a 100-acre center. It is, but there are limited people over there. They have a capacity of I think 20 or 25 participants. They don't have a lot of. So there's a lot of space which is there in Dhammasukha. So Dhammasukha is a nice place to go and do. Then Indonesia, as I told you, but the problem with Indonesia is that most of the time they have it in the local bhasha, or they have Hokkien, I think. So they use that Chinese language. So that they do those retreats in those language. So mostly in Asia, in India, we are having we had recently had this organization formed this year is Metta Insight Foundation. A few years back, we had formed Sutta Vipassana Trust. So we have these two organizations we are doing, and we have online guides and everything, and we are doing a lot of retreats now. So Metta Vipassana.org, you can go and see those activities what we are doing. The website is still also under development. So I'll just take some of the questions which was written. How did the two of you come to know each other? So how did I come to know this? He had come to a retreat last year in Mahabodhi, correct? That time I met him, and then he came once again this year. Then how did he come to know about the retreat? I'm not sure.
I have friends who I was staying with, and they said there's twin retreats in Mahārāhulovāda. You want to go? Yeah, that sounds great.
What is Nikanti compared to Tanha? Is it to be seen as wholesome and beneficial along the way? So I am not so kind of well versed in Pali. I know a few words, but what is the Nikanti?
That's unfamiliar to me. Where's that coming from?
Nikanti?
How do you spell it?
Nikanti. Renunciation.
Oh, Nikkama. Nikkama. So how does Nikkama relate to Tanha? How does renunciation relate to craving? Is that the question? Who had the question? Okay.
It was described as like a full kind of
Okay, 1 second here. Let me get my trusty app. Yeah, it only appears in the commentaries, doesn't appear in the suttas. So I would say don't worry about it. Yeah.
So there are certain mind states also which are only appearing in the commentaries, not in the suttas. Like one of those was Kanika Samadhi, when they used to talk about Kanika Samadhi. When he asked the monks who were memorized the kind of the Pali canon, they say that that does not appear in anywhere in the Pali canon. So one of the benefits of memorization is also that you can get instant answers. So that is what in your Buddhism's view is the purpose of authoritarians, dictators in the world. We don't promote authoritarians and dictators in the world. So, what is this question about? Such characters do not possess the capacity of emotional empathy. In psychiatry terms, narcissist psychopaths exist on a global scale down to the family scales. Purpose of their existence. See, one becomes a king, as I had explained, based on their karmic energy, and based on their actions as a king, they may turn up into hell also. So there is one other aspect of king which is there, which is called world conquering king. So the world conquering king becomes a king without having a battle. He conquers the whole of the world, and he never has a battle because he has all the world in his thing. Conquer. And then they are the only ones who go to heaven after they end their lifespan in the this thing. So dictators, authoritarians, all of them will be judged by their action. Okay. So one of the things we can think about, one of the ways is there is a kind of a phrase, Raja Bhavato Dhammiko, which is a kind of aspiration. In the one of the aspirations which is there is, may the king be dharmic, or work with the dharmic kind of perspective, with the reality, or with the truth. So they may the king be truthful, or just, or right. That is an aspiration. So if the ruler is truthful, then it can be very beneficial to the people. If the ruler is not truthful, then the cause of trouble is there. So one interesting fact is that how does, when the world conquering king is there, how does that kingdom evolve? So the Buddha is giving one example of that this was a world conquering king. When he passed away, his son became a world conquering king, and he took over, and he was also having that karmic energy. So he then his son was the world conquering king. Then there was another, maybe the great grandson who was there. That time he did not have very good ministers. So what happened is, some place in the kingdom there was a famine. So he said, they said, why should we send our treasury gold and spend for them? Let them kind of fetch for them for themselves. So they did not help out the people who were hungry. So what happened was, they started robbing. They started doing ducat. They started having raids. They started kind of having all the kind of the fights and all these things, because the king did not provide for them. So one of the things the Dhammic king does is, when he sees that somewhere thievery has happened, he goes and gives over there. He provides to the people. Why is somebody stealing something? Because he is lacking something. So rather than jailing the person, he says, what were you lacking that you had to go and steal something? Then he would give what was lacking. I did not have a land, so then the king would give him land for tilling. Don't steal, I'll give you land, you till the land and make your own food. So that is how the Dharmic king works. He provides when there is a need which is there. But if that Dharmic king is not there, then you have to suffer the consequences of the tyrants which is there. Maybe that is also our karmic energy, or that may be a happenstance. We don't know. So, but that is the impermanence of the world which we live in. Which is, if there is impermanence, there is also unpredictability. Okay, one way of translating anicca is unpredictable, because if there is constant something is there. If I say this car is going at 20 kilometers of a speed, 20 kilometers an hour, and it goes in the left direction for 1 hour, how far is the car? You can say 20 kilometers. But if you say, I am going to drive this car towards the Gangal airport at 20 kilometers of speed, after 1 hour, where is the car? Huh? We don't know, because we don't know what happened. There was a cow in the middle or not. There is some traffic stop was there, or this guy got bored and started speeding. We don't know, because there is no predictability in real life. In a theoretical mathematical, we can have a theory that 20 kilometers it goes in one direction after this thing, and there is no one direction roads also all the time. So we in life it is different. Okay, and in this thing, so all these things we have to see that as an opportunity, that we don't have control on the external things. We don't have control on the thoughts which are coming up. Why are we again after control? Let us give up control and be with what we can be. And that is what we stop fighting with the reality. And we are okay with whatever is there. Do you have any advice on the process of seeking temporary ordination? How to find a suitable monastery teacher? So this is a difficult question because for temporary ordination in India, at least there are. I am not sure about any very suitable places. But Mahabodhi in Bangalore, which is there, is having temporary ordination every year. So you can contact Mahabodhi. So you can just Google Mahabodhi Bangalore. There's a question. You may contact them and they are doing it. So they do it very well. That whole, because I had one of our students and one of our kind of volunteers, guide volunteers which we have, who has done temporary ordination in Mahabodhi. So they are a suitable place. Other places are, I would say, Thailand. Thailand, Chiang Mai, and that area, there's a lot of places are there. They are more than happy to do that. And then there is, I think, Sri Lanka also. Some places are there, but you need to find that place which are well maintained and well kind of organized. So maybe Sri Lanka is one of the places you can go. One place I would not recommend now is Burma. Burma has some problems, so I would not recommend going Burma. I know I have to let go hindrances, attachments, thoughts, the past. But what if at the very end I am just not ready to let go? Or simply I cannot, even if that will keep on leading to dukkha. See, you do what you can in the present. You work with what is there in the present. You work with your resistance of letting go. If you're not able to let go, then work with the resistance of letting go. That I have a resistance of letting go, then I let go of that resistance of not letting go also. So just work with whatever you are there in the present moment, whatever comes. So it is not a theoretical practice. You work with what comes up in the present. You comes up in the present is your attachment, and work with that attachment also. Work with that frustration of not letting go. Work with whatever comes up in the present as a hindrance which is there. I have to, as I know that will lead to the end of suffering. So yes, end of suffering is there, but then you also understand why you are not letting it go also. And if you are not able to let go, then don't make it into also a suffering. That I suffer because I suffer when I suffer because I suffer, and that becomes a loop, you know. I am not letting go, and I'm making it also into something which is there, and I'm suffering for not letting go, and also about not the suffering itself. So then it becomes a loop of again and again. So be kind with yourself also, and be kind of that it is okay to be have compassion for yourself that you are not able to let go. So work with whatever is there in the present. Forgiveness is also something which can be helpful. Forgive yourself for not letting go. Whenever you find that I am not able to let go, I forgive myself for not being able to let go. Okay, and not letting go is also an impersonal process. That is also not me, not mine, not myself. So it's a constant process of learning. So here. See, if you're not able to let go, don't make it into a thing of fighting also. It is not about fighting, understanding that your mind is in this state. So be compassionate for that mind also, which is holding on and gripping on to things. And then you work with that. It is a personal process because you are making a choice which is there, and not letting go is an impersonal thing which is there, which is not happening. And then you have to see that if it is not happening, then not making it into also a thing. Then you have two things you are dealing with, that you are holding on to that, and then you are fighting the holding on to also. Then have compassion for yourself. Forgive yourself for not being able to let go. It's a constant process which is happening, and you deal with whatever you are dealing with in the present. That is what you deal with. So okay, so as of now it is already 8:30. So we will have the circle meeting. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll sit in a square, maybe that will help us. Anybody who wants to sit in chairs, they can sit in chairs. Over here and there, they can sit in chairs, and then we will go one by one to each person. Okay, yeah, we can stop this recording. Okay, for before that, we'll just share the marriage. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu. You must stop the recording.